Nothing quite like going skiing for 2 weeks and we're going into rain. But you may be able to hear the wind is howling and everything is on wind hold. They've got one lift open. So the stuff that's not groomed is rock hard, smells of snot. Unfortunately, all too familiar sight at the old Thredbo is everything's on wind hold. Wind hold, wind hold, wind hold, and rain predicted. You're looking at about $500 a day. All right, across the old creek. So I'll do that, flip over. Low second, it's not that deep, it's gone down a fair way, which is good. We'll give it a go, give it a crack. We're just about to hit the national park, the Kosciuszko National Park, going into Thredbo, and as per normal, it's raining. Nothing quite like going skiing for 2 weeks, and we're going into rain. Perfect. There's hardly even any snow on the hills. There's a little bit, not much. Anyway, you wouldn't expect anything less from an Australian snowy mountains.
There's more snow at the farm.
Yeah, there is more snow at the farm, you're right. Been snowing up there today. Anyway, it is what it is. At least it's not thunderstorms. Alright, go through the national park and we're all good to go. Downtown Thredbo, the old Crackenback Lodge. We're not skiing today because it rained all night, which is a bit of a pain, but you may be able to hear the wind is howling and everything is on wind hold. They've got one lift open, old gun barrel, the only lift open. And I'll show you what she looks like. At least the sun's out now, but the wind is howling. Even snow gums is on wind hold, and snow gums is never on wind hold. And apparently people are still skiing, and the line for gun barrel is horrendous. So that'd be great. That'd be really good. That might have a go on the old Alpine Coaster, seeing we get the freebie with our season pass. We get a free ride on the Alpine Coaster, so might go and have a look, see how long the line is, but definitely not going skiing, that's for sure. Alright, we're hitting the old Alpine Coaster. Give it a go. Ooh, she might be a bit chilly on the way back down. Anyway, up we go. pretty mad. So old mate said we can just don't worry about hitting the brakes. So forwards is to go and backwards is to brake. So we'll see how we go. Trust it, I guess. Trust that it's going to pull me up. And here we go, up we go. Just getting to the top up here, and we'll cruise down. Tailgating is prohibited. And don't worry, I won't be tailgating, I'll be hanging back so I get a bit more of a run up. We'll just slow down here a little bit before we get going. Wait for Woz to get out of the way. That might be enough time. Hopefully there's no one in front of him to slow him down, and away we go. Woohoo! Here we go. Hope my hat doesn't come off. Yep, the hat nearly came off. Hang on to the hat. The old hat nearly came off. Lean into the corners, she reckons, you go faster. Woohoo! Bit of fun. Bit chilly on the old fingies. Around the old U-Butte circle. She's a bit like the old wild mouse at the Easter show. She's a gem. Woohoo!
Three hours later. The next day.
Well, we're here, we made it. Unfortunately, driving in the rain, not much fun. It got cold last night. One good thing is it's a beautiful day today.
No wind.
No wind. Great
Queue's
day.
not that bad.
Yeah, queues are alright. Yeah, look out there. Beautiful, not a cloud in the sky. There's not many people around, which is good. Just have a nice chill out day. Just relax. Snow's pretty hard packed. On the groomed trails, it's pretty well man-made. That's right, this is all natural. So they've got a bit of snow. Going to be warm days, going to be 5 today. So she's going to get a bit, it's already getting a bit slushy. Anyway, I'm hot, as far as hot. Alright, better get off. So famous last words, Miss Sarah on the chairlift, not many people. Look at the line for Basin T-Bar. It did break down or stop or someone got hurt or something. But yeah, we're right up the hill. Never ever seen it. But in saying that, I mean, it's not very crowded down the bottom. Usually that's packed down there. For some reason, it's just really... So, anyway, it's probably only going to be about a 15-minute wait, I think. Shouldn't be too long, but still. Anyway, we decided to stay up here because it was getting a bit hot and slushy down the bottom already. It's only like 10:30. Thought we'd stay up here with everybody else. Afternoon of the first day. Pretty quiet now. I think everybody must be at lunch or something. It's definitely pretty quiet. The snow's a bit funny. Stuff that's not groomed is pretty rock hard. And because it was been hot for the last couple of days, and then a bit of rain yesterday, so it was apparently very, very slushy everywhere yesterday. And last night it got down to about -5, so it's frozen it all up. So the stuff that's not groomed is rock hard. Balls of snot. Anyway, that's what it is. It is what it is. But, you know, like, at least it's a beautiful day today. Like yesterday raining, like a mate of mine rang me the other day to say that's it, he's had enough. Cost him $1,000 in accommodation for the weekend for him and his wife, and $230 a day each for the lift ticket. So it was $2,000 for accommodation and lift tickets for the weekend for 2 days, and the lifts were on wind hold and it was raining. Like, they didn't even discount the lift passes, which to me is just bizarre. But anyway, I mean, we've got accommodation in our fantastic lodge, the old Crackenback, and season pass, which softens the blow a fair bit. So because we're members of the lodge, we get a discount. So it's $1,400 for the season pass, which is how many days skiing's that? 6 threes, 5's 1,000, 5 threes, 150, 150, about 6 days. 6 threes are 18. That's 120, 1380. Yeah, so 6 days skiing for a season pass. So we're here for 2 weeks, so we'll be in front if we ski for the 2 weeks. Love the old view at Thredbo's. She's a ripper reader. Out over to across Karela Hut there, Sponners and Antons. Beautiful.
The next day.
Oh, what a beautiful morning.
Stunning.
No wind, not a cloud in the sky. Corduroy on the ground, except for the fresh man-made stuff on top of it. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's still cold enough for the snow gun going. She's going to be a beautiful morning. Look at that. Awesome. Keep out of the non-groomed stuff, eh? Oh, just heading up the old Basin T-Bar, Thredbo! Yay! Beautiful day. And we've still got good snow here. There's still a bit of room corduroy there. That's nice, not many people around. Beautiful day. Unreal. Looking good over towards the main range over there. Just out the back up the top of the Basin T-Bar, heading across the Sponners, and look at the snow drifts that are up here. Heaps this year. Looks awesome. So nice up here, it's beautiful. Love it. No wind, nice beautiful day, a couple of clouds starting to come through. Absolutely magnificent, I reckon.
The next day.
Here we are, downtown Crackenback. And unfortunately, all too familiar sight at the old Thredbo is everything's on wind hold. Wind hold, wind hold, wind hold, and rain predicted, which is a bit of a bummer. I mean, at least they got snow gums going. They didn't have snow gums going the other day, so you had to catch the bus. Cosy chairs on wind hold, Anton's wind hold, Sponners wind hold. The gondola's on wind hold. So the only thing that's open at the moment is snow gums. And I think cruiser may be open, and gun barrel, which is to high noon, which is a bummer. But anyway, we're not going to ski today, no point, because rain's predicted as well. Don't like skiing when it's windy and nothing's running. Oh well, just a nice cruisy day. It's a bit of a bummer. Anyway, I think they've had, oh yeah, the gondola's going, but it's going really, really slowly, and they're not actually loading people onto it. So, and the lifts actually haven't officially opened yet. That's why there's no one skiing down anywhere. No chairs on Cozzy, and the top of the mountain is looking very cloudy. Anyway, that's Thredbo for you. Or skiing in Australia, very unpredictable. Well, maybe predictable in the way that you can always guarantee at least a day like this a week. The old Crackenback chair. The original chair off the original chairlift. She's a gem. Been blowing around on one of these babies for a long time before, that's for sure. Smashed into the pylons. She's a gem. So when they took all the old chairlift down and the old chairs, you had the opportunity to bid at auction, bidding on one of these chairs. I know that the Merritt's ones, I'm not sure about the Crackenback, but Merritt's ones, they went to a charity and they raised them a lot of money. So it's pretty cool to have one of these old chairs. It looks like here they've put new boards on. The old ones must have rotted out, which is fair enough, seeing it's 70 years old. But no, awesome. The old Crackenback chair. There we go, so I'm ripping down on the old Alpine Coaster. A lot of yelling and screaming going on out there, that's for sure. Sounds like they're having a bit of fun. A group of people, I guess. And there's someone else going up. Actually, still a beautiful day here. Absolute beautiful day. That's the view off the old balcony. There's a Thredbo Alpine Hotel in front of us. And the old Merritt's gondola going up there. Where's a gondola? There's one. There's there going up. Another one coming down. Beautiful day.
3 days later.
Well, another beautiful day going up Gun Barrel. Look at that. Old mate over there after his big crash yesterday thought he'd prefer to ski on rocks rather than snow, and it didn't quite work out. Beautiful day. Little downhill trip in the Merritt's gondola. Too lazy to ski. The snow's actually getting a bit soft. Looking a bit rainy. Might rain. Did rain last night and a little bit this morning. But anyway, nice little trip down the mountain. Nice and easy, nice and lazy.
Well, we've never done this before.
No, actually, I never have.
It's a new experience.
True. Never have downloaded from the top of Merritt's. Not much snow in the village. Well, that's a little bit of a rundown of a couple of weeks at Thredbo, 2025. And as per normal, yep, a couple of days of wind and rain. So with that in consideration, is it worth it? Well, maybe, maybe not. For us, yes, it is, because we're members of a lodge down there. So accommodation for us is $350 for the week. So if you do 2 weeks, $700, and season pass for 1,400 with the lodge holders discount works out to just over $2,000. And because we've got the lodge there, we've got cooking and everything we do ourselves, so that makes it a bit cheaper. But if you're going to stay somewhere down there, that is a completely different story. You know, I was saying in the video that a mate of mine rang me up because he'd had enough. Cost him $2,000 for the weekend for him and his wife to stay at the Denman. And everything was on wind hold and it was raining. There was one lift open and he's just like, that's it, no more. So let's have a look at, like, for a week, for example. So I was having a look at some prices and it's pretty well lift ticket and accommodation. If you just went down there and didn't get things on special, you're looking at about $500 a day. And that's not including meals. So if you did that for 7 nights, that's $3,500, not including meals, and that's not including fuel or wear and tear on anything getting down there. So if you were to take into consideration like Japan, we can get $260, includes your lift tickets and accommodation, which is dinner, bed and breakfast. And if you put airfare on top of that, it is less than $3,500. So I would suggest that maybe old Thredbo, considering how inconsistent it is and the snow is not really always that good, I would personally, if you're not a member of a lodge like us, I would head to Japan, definitely. I mean, you can go to different places around the world and prices are, you can get cheaper prices and you can get more expensive, of course. But the beauty of Japan is it's a 9-hour flight. The time difference is not that great, and it's a real cultural experience. And on top of that, the snow is generally 99% of the time awesome. And they have some of the biggest dumps ever. So we'll be going back to Japan, going to a not so well-known place because there is a lot of places in Japan. Unfortunately, the altitude and the vertical feet that they have isn't as great as some of your classic European and American destinations, but it's still fine. I mean, we're used to skiing at Thredbo, which doesn't have a lot of vertical feet either. And, you know, for my money, I would definitely be looking at somewhere else other than skiing in Australia, that's for sure. A lot of people, New Zealand generally is pretty good, but this year apparently they had an absolute shocker of a season. So who knows? I think just the Southern Hemisphere, it just doesn't really get that good snow. And I mean, we're not really that high, and we are a beach blooming continent, aren't we? We all love the beach. Anyway, that just about wraps it up. So give us a comment on what you think, whether you'd ski in Australia or some of your classic places in the States. You know, you've got your blooming Aspen and Steamboat, Lake Tahoe, all those different places. Utah, you know, the old Snowbird and Alta's awesome in Utah. And then, of course, you've got BC with your the old Whistler Blackcomb, and then you've got Revelstoke up there, Mount Mackenzie, that's pretty popular. And then you have classic European places, Val d'Isere, St Anton, St Moritz, the Dolomites, all those classic places. Anyway, that's it for this video, and we'll be heading back to the farm where at the moment we're calving, so should get quite a few calves dropping, which will be great. And in the next few weeks, the old alpacas will be dropping their cria as well. So lots of new little animals on the farm. So check out what's ahead at the old Spring Cart Farm. All right, thank you and see you next time.